He's got a pipe in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? This guy invented the atomic bomb, you know, altering molecules, and he didn't figure out that he was killing himself with cancer. See, they plan a plan, and God plans a plan, and God's the best to plan this. Because of how intelligent he appeared to be, he was stupid when it comes down to something that simple. That we, or they, sister, that you was asking about, is pertaining to beings that protected. Today they got them too, but we don't have them. We don't have that privilege or that luxury. I mean, you get hit by a truck out there, you know, that's it for our butts. But those rich folks up there, they got body parts. They got to force themselves to die. Some people just live on, you know, and they got some people like Bob Hope. Bob Hope is older than Santa Claus. I hate to talk about our own late President Carter, but Carter's jumping out of planes at 80. Anybody who jumps out of a plane knows your body is not equipped to jump out of no plane at 80. You can't even jump off the toilet at 80. So he must have conditioning.
What I was going to ask is, do these bodies that they've got, are they in stasis or are they living and then they just pick them up off the street or something?
I like to say they pick them up on the street. That sounds like a movie. I like to work with that. No, once they clone these bodies and they speed up their cell growth, they put them in suspended animation. They have what's called cryogenics. Right? Now, the thing wrong with cryogenics is the brain cannot be reactivated. It turns to mush once it's frozen. But they've proven that most other organs in the body can be revitalized. But the brain, once you lose that brain contact, which is that oversoul he's talking about, so they're not concerned. So if a president has brain damage like Kennedy, when they shot him, he still lived, you know, on NASA's island for a long time, but he was in a wheelchair and he was brain dead. So they really couldn't bring him back to the forefront of politics, so he just lived his life out there in Greece, and Jacqueline pretended she married Onassis, and that's how the story went. But it didn't stop because now everybody's eyes like, what the heck? I just realized what I'm saying is new to some people just by the look on your face. I know y'all didn't think Kennedy died, did y'all? Okay, you did. All right, what else? Anybody got a question? Yes.
Robert, is there a cure for sickle cell?
Yes, there's a cure for everything, including death. And you may not believe it, because I'm hoping you young people hear me. There's a cure for everything. The thing is, how long do you want to live? Right now you think you want to live forever, right? Right? But if you was Bob Hope's age, would you want to still live forever? Let's look at it this way. Now that they're on the borderline of communicating with the dead, and now has been confirmed by certain scientists that there is some form of life after death, correct? Now they have all these psychics out there that are proving beyond a shadow of doubt that they have the ability to communicate with the dead, or that's what it appears to be. Ask yourself, what happens once you know for a fact that when you die, relatives who passed are waiting to bring you over? Think about it. How many times has any and every one of us decided, I'm fed up with this life, I don't want to live no more? Don't lie, because everybody who pretend you ain't got a little insanity is crazy. Almost everybody out here at one time or another got fed up with life and said, I just had it. You follow? But you was too punky to commit suicide. You thought jumping in front of a train was going to hurt. So you're still here giving us a hard time. But suppose you knew, beyond a shadow of doubt, suppose you knew that once you pass, that your relatives, your greats are waiting for you, and they got a hand stretched, and they take you into a new world. Suppose they did this by communicating with you before you passed. You follow what I'm saying? What would happen? For one, when an officer says, pull over. Think about it. Pull over. You say, get out of the car. Excuse my English, but I'm telling you what you say. No, I'm not getting out of the car. I'll shoot you. Whoa. You know, big deal. What about the time when all the bills You know that time, right? And even those bills that we thought we were getting away with because they didn't give us the bill. So we was running that telephone up and it didn't never come and we like, hell, they forgot about me. And then just when we on Dubad Street on the corner of Ain't Got Nothing, in comes this bill for $300 or $400 we going for the telephone company. Oh, this is a back bill for so-and-so. You're like, and then you get frustrated, you say, dang, I'm going to get something, go to the refrigerator, open the refrigerator, take a beer, and chill, open the refrigerator, and moths fly out. I ain't got no money to buy no food. So I'm going to go over my girlfriend's house. I go over my girlfriend, and the guy picks up says, what? You follow what I'm saying? I'll just get down, go downstairs and go for a drive just to chill, get downstairs, it says empty. I said, hell, I'm just going to have to get some money for some, get some money for some. I don't want to live no more. Don't say you haven't been to that road before where you don't want to live no more. But if you had a confirmation that everything is going to be all right, this world would be a different place. The way people get in arguments, there would be no such thing as road rage. There'd be road incidents. That's all. Get out the car, bam. You got me, I got you, thank you, boom. And we're near that now. We're near that state of mind right now. We're starting to accept, just by the technology, you know what I'm saying, communication. Oh, they already passed life on other planets. But what were they saying 20 years ago if I said there was life on Mars? You're crazy. Now they found life on Mars. Life on Jupiter. Not life on one planet, but life on more than one planet in our solar system. They found tri-star constellations, systems with 3 suns. It's on the internet. Go look it up. Things that they say is impossible have become possible. So life after death, which has always been based on faith and belief, is no longer simply faith and belief. It's now possible and bending towards probable. And to some, confirmed. You with me? How will that affect us as human beings? So, to answer your question, they have gotten to the point where they realize now we as a people are developing spiritually to the point where we know there's a life after death. That we know that there is really a Jesus Christ. That we know there was really angelic beings. Whatever name you use and whatever language you speak, whatever country you're influenced by is not what's important. The reality is important. We know it's real now. And our attitude towards life is changing. Our attitude towards working is changing. Our attitude towards people are changing. You follow that? And we're in that day and time now where anything is possible. Tomorrow we can flick on the television and they'll tell us something we never even imagined before. You know what I'm saying? So we're at that period of time where life and death are becoming one. And the system is afraid to face the reality of in what direction our minds will start to elevate to. Will we become gods? And does that change the definition of God when we become gods? You follow? When we reach to that level of God, the perfection in God, being his children, does God then raise to a higher level? And does that start another journey? Or does that end it? Or is that the beginning, and was this a path towards a beginning? All of these questions become something to talk about. Years ago, it was simply, is there life after death? Is there heaven or hell? Does God really exist? Is God dead? Was Jesus a real person? Etc., etc., etc. And I explained to y'all, I explained to you before, you have 2 Jesuses in the Bible. I don't mean 2 Jesuses. We know there's 3 characters. I'm talking 2 births of 2 Jesuses and 2 Marys in the Bible. You know? People don't want to hear that. No, no, no. My Mary is my Mary. I said, well, which one? The one that had a child in a manger, or the one that had a child under a date palm tree in the desert? What are you talking about? That sounds crazy. Well, in Matthew's and them, they speak of the birth of a child in a manger, in the presence of wise men. In the book of Revelation, they speak of a child born under a date palm tree in the wilderness with dragons waiting to kill it, which is true. or they're both true. They'll say, well, that's the mystery of God. I don't want the mystery of God. God said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I don't want the mystery. I want the fact. If you can't give me the fact, step down off the pulpit and let somebody who God inspires stand up there. Let somebody who has the answers get up there and get down. Stop the preaching and start the teaching. Stop trying to be a good person and just be a good teacher. And let people become good people themselves. Because what you are. What you're going to be, you're going to be. Whatever is grown in you, it's like a tree. Whatever that thing is going to fertilize this ground enough, something's going to grow through here. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. I may not see it through, but I'm saying, but something's going to grow there. Every person here is a God in the making. And for no other reason than God said, I'll put my spirit inside you. God's spirit would be no more than a seed, because it wouldn't be God. I put my spirit in man, and man became what? But what's the catchword in between that? Man what? Became. He grew into. He changed into. He metamorphosized to become. I put my spirit into man, and man became a living soul. See, but we got God's time and our time mixed up. We're taking became like past tense. We're still becoming. Because we're not a living soul yet, are we? What are we? We are a living body. Are we not? Now check back, some of you younger folk. Your grandparents, your grandfather. I used to put my grandfather's jacket on and I was buried in it. He wore like a 48. Grandma had hips. Half these women here like little string beans. Half of the men here, we ain't got shoulder span no more. We were about anywhere from a 40 to a 42. And that's man size. There's a man boy section for men size. Women are buying their clothes out of children's sections. Are we metamorphosizing? Are we becoming smaller as human beings? Yes. Just check some history. Check out what size shoe your grandfather wore. 15s. Average man now is wearing a 10. 9.5, 11 the most. Old folks wore 15s. 12 on up. Are we changing? Yes. What are we becoming? We're becoming less physical and more mental. You talk about little midgets and little grades. We're almost there. Kids born now got these big old heads. Ain't too many little kids whose head match their shoulders. They're toting these big old tank heads. Something is changing. Kids' eyes are bright, born. When I was a child, kids wasn't born with hair. Kids wasn't born with nails. They had to wait 2 to 3 weeks before they got nails. Remember that? Now kids come out full, nails, some with teeth. Is this not a fact? I mean, we learned to grunt, you know what I mean? Pull, crawl on one leg, then crawl on two, then move around on stuff, and then get up and stagger and fall. Children now come out and do this. They're walking. What does that mean? That means God's plan is still at work. We're behind time. Misinterpretation. People not looking at the Word of God. And that's why I said in the beginning was the pay attention to the words of God, not the sentences of God. You can't even get past God's words, and here you are trying to interpret his sentences. Let's do it word by word. God breathed the breath of life. Got that? Into man. And man became a living soul. If we're now still a living body, we don't become a living soul until the body is dead. That's the path we're on. That's the journey we're taking, to become a living soul, a conscious soul. And that's the reward. The reward is to pass out of this physical body and yet still be conscious. There are lost souls. There are people that die, as they say, and have no spiritual connection. They're gone. Some people don't dream. Some people don't dream. Some people don't dream in color. This is real. They don't have no spiritual connection. And when they pass, that's it. This is as far as they're going. Because they'll never make it to the state of a living soul. Man became a living soul. You may say, well, became is past tense. Past tense in our time or God's time. Because it says in the Bible, what? One day to God is like 1,000 years. So his idea of past tense and our idea of past tense, there's a great difference. What is the journey then? What is the path we're on? To become a living soul. And what happens when we become conscious of that? We become in tune with that reality that we're becoming a living soul. And we accept that reality. Then what? Then we're God. We talked about that. It's in The Wizard of Oz. The journey led to a little person behind a mask pretending to be God. Do you realize that's why they're mad at you and I? You know, that's why they're mad at Nuwapians, Nuwabs, or whatever they call us when they can't pronounce it. You know why? Because they say, he says he's God. And they don't realize they're quoting something in the Bible. When the priest said to Jesus, we're going to stone you because you say you are God. And Jesus said, isn't that written in the law? I said, ye are gods. They still tried to stone him. They don't like us because of our consciousness, our connection with God. The reality we're starting to say, we are the children of God. The Bible says God has children. And the sons of God saw the daughters of man. So, if there's sons of gods on earth, and there's daughters of men on earth, who are the daughters of man? And what is their destiny? Because the sons of God's destiny is to return to the bosom of God, to be with, as, and of God, to be one with God. That's our path. So there's some other people walking around the planet. Whose children are they? Children of the devil. That's Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. It says, I put iniquity between your seed and her seed. And we're her seed. We're even Adam's seed. So the devil has people are walking next to you, talking at you, eating at the table with you, working with you, flying next to you on the plane, sitting next to you in the car. You don't even know this fool got marijuana. He didn't tell you that when he got in the car. He knew it because he purchased it. He knew it was illegal when he got in the car with you. But he didn't have the time to tell you, I've got this marijuana with me and it's illegal. Because you knew doggone way you said, well, you get rid of it on my car. Then police pull you over, and police said, let me see your driver's license. To the police, and this fool yells out, why you pulling us over? This fool got the marijuana. You don't even know why. He said, nigga, shut up. Guys, get out of the car. They searched him, and next thing you know, you're in jail. On the way, he said, man, he just messing with us. Man, this is racism. Man, this is harassment. Man, this is a... Nigga, that was the devil sitting next to you. Now, you're looking for the devil to be white. That would make you feel so comfortable, so convenient to say, oh, all white people are the devil and all black people are gods. Crap. If you believe that white people came from black people, then you believe the devil was black before he got white. If you teach that black people existed on the planet first, and archaeologists, paleontologists, and everybody agrees with that, right? Then if the white man is bad, he came out of you, then bad came out of you. So now who be the father of the devil? Who that is? Talk real. Who it is? Came out you then, right? You want to face that reality? Can you tell the truth about yourself? Or can you only tell the truth when it's others? When the black Muslim want to stand up and say, all white people are the devil, and all black people are angels. Crap! I got some uncles, I know the devil. Now, probably got uncles saying about me, I know that nigga devil. You understand? The end will reveal that. But it's inside. The devil's walking with you every day. I'm trying to give you a message. Y'all who are aspiring here to become one with and as and of God, be on your guard against the nearest person to you. Smiling faces tell lies. Or what? The backstabbers. Watch out for that best friend. You understand? Anybody who wants to be your best friend has a purpose. Friends are not something you pick up along the way. Friendship comes from trust. How many people had people they thought were their friends and stabbed them in the back? I should say how many people didn't, because I know 99% of us did. And I trusted that person, and I would do anything for that person, and they stabbed me right in my back. But you know, they tell you about a snake. Huh? You knew he was a snake when you picked him up. See, most of the time, that friend was the friend who had the connections, or the fancy car, or knew where all the pretty girls hung out, knew how to get into parties. That friend had all the connections, and that's why you cling to that friend. That friend had the delicacies of the harlots surrounding him, or her. That friend had money all the time. I like hanging out with him or her. They knew all the sharp places to go and the best restaurants. You hear me? And when I posted that way, I put down my God. G-O-D. I put down my God. I became off God. And that's why I got stabbed in the back. And that's why I got betrayed. And that's why I got hurt. But if I stay on that one path of reality and face reality that tomorrow anything can be said. And he might open up tomorrow and